Hello, I'm Kurt Indovina, and today I'm reviewing The Missing, J.J. Macfield, and the Island of Memories. From the mind of Sweary, the man who brought you deep for a deadly premonition, The Missing brings a new meaning to trial and death, a style of gameplay made most prominent by games such as Limbo and Inside. But The Missing, on the other hand, makes the actual act in dying a very literal part of the game. Though certain mechanics and gameplay will feel familiar, even with the exception of you having to kill yourself and destroy yourself to solve many puzzles, all those things are at face value, and the true heart of this game, as any other Sweary game, lies in its storytelling and all the things that kind of linger in the background. And yes, The Missing does feature Sweary's staple weird off-kilter quirkiness, but I think this title specifically is probably one of the more serious, prominent stories that Sweary has ever told in a game. So, to get started, you play as J.J. Macfield, who is going on a camping trip with her best friend Emily. And it's not until very long until Emily mysteriously goes missing and the game goes down into a surreal, dreamy-like place where things immediately get pretty spooky. And it's not far off until a man with a moose head and a doctor suit comes to your rescue after being struck by lightning.
Sharks administer that major hemorrhage.
And yeah, that's it. From there, you are then subtly guided by a white rabbit and the occasional white owl that is floating around, and where you are placed in such situations where in order to overcome an obstacle, you may have to experiment a little bit and put yourself in deliberate harm's way. In fact, it actually took me an hour or two until I actually got comfortable with the idea that I was supposed to deliberately be hurting myself, which is actually a really interesting concept when facing the overall story of this game. Now, it wouldn't be a Sweary game unless there was a kind of lingering focus on food. Sweary loves food. It's been a prominent thing in all of his games, but in this game in particular, that food is donuts. Now, what would otherwise be just a normal collectible in any other game, it's actually the donuts that are the key part to unlocking the backstory to everything that's going on. The more donuts collect, the more of the backstory is revealed via JJ's smartphone, where you can actually read through text message conversations between her mother, Emily, as well as a number of other friends who are never seen, but you learn about them through these texts. And it's those text messages and conversations are the only core development of the story or of any of the characters, leaving the platforming and self-mutilation just kind of a backdrop to be able to push forward in the story. So in many ways, in this game, the story, the backstory of everything is completely secondary to what you get, and it's really up to you as the player to explore and find out more. And unlike games similar like Limbo and Inside, where the stories are quite cryptic and oftentimes open to interpretation, this actually gave a good driving force and something I can relate with, opposed to being left with kind of this ominous experience. And I'm eager to collect these donuts to find out more as to why maybe Emily went missing or what it is JJ's up to.
Hey, JJ, do you remember the clock tower we went to when we were in kids?
As for the puzzles in this game, they're generally pretty easy, and it's very early on that you kind of discover and understand pretty much the scope of what it is they do with puzzles, with a few exceptions around the middle. The biggest fault is that some of them can be a little tedious, and though they're not hard to figure out, they just kind of require some backtracking and forwards and backwards, and mistakes can oftentimes set you back and take away from the flow and progression of the game. It's really nothing that devastating, but yeah, that's it. It's fine. It's okay. They're fine. But as I mentioned, the true driving force of this game is the story, and at times had me guessing and thinking and predicting. In most cases, I was proved wrong by the ending, an ending of which that really messed me up. I have no problem admitting I cried a lot. I think it's really easy to oftentimes see Suiri's games as kind of like the weird enigma that they are, but all of them in some way, shape, or form do kind of have these slivers of like true, serious, genuine beauty in them, but they're just kind of sandwiched in with just weird Suiri stuff. This game, on the other hand, I think demonstrates a very serious tone from start to finish, and if anything, truly demonstrates his ability as a character writer better than any of his other games. Now, I must mention this was written alongside Sayonsuke Ichida. Sayonsuke Ichida. Sorry. So it's important that I give credit to that writer as well, and not just crown Suiri for everything that Suiri is. The game also opens with a really powerful statement, which is simply, this game was made with the belief that no one is wrong for being who they are. And I do think that shows very true all the way to the end. And I think this is a game that I hope delivers a message that is relatable for someone out there, because I think it touches on some stuff that I think needs to be touched on and isn't often attempted in video games yet. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Once more, I am Kurt Indovina. Let me know if you guys played it and what you think about it in the comments. Till next time, bye.